Alrighty guys, welcome to the video for the intro to Long Monday by Prine. This has to be like the 10th time I've tried making this video. Hopefully this is the one. But let's go ahead and start breaking down kind of these shapes in the left hand and patterns in our right hand. So we're grabbing this kind of C over G shape and taking our index finger out of the equation for now in our left hand. We're adding our pinky to our B string 3rd fret. In our right hand, our first pattern is going to follow our assigned finger method. So our thumb is going to be on our lowest E string, index on D, 2nd on G, and ring finger on B. That's going to be our highest string for right now. So our first pattern with this first shape is going to be our thumb on our ring, followed by our index, followed by our thumb, followed by our ring, followed by our index. So all put together, this first pattern will sound like this. Once you master that, once you're feeling really comfortable with that, the second pattern is the exact same, except we just lift our pinky off of our B string in our left hand. So we have an open B string now. We continue that same pattern in our right hand. So putting those two patterns together, so far we have this. Now is when we start talking about some really kind of interesting stuff in our left hand. We're actually going to make that C over G chord officially now. So take away that ring or that pinky finger again, leave that hovering kind of in the air. We're adding our index finger to our B string 1st fret. In our right hand, this is where those assigned fingers are really going to come into play, because we're just using our thumb, index, and ring to strike our low E, D, and B strings respectively. At the same time that we strike our right hand, we're going to be hammering on our 2nd and 1st fingers. We're keeping our ring finger planted, but we're hammering on the other fingers for this chord and just striking those notes in our right hand. So that'll sound like this. After that, we're going to follow that up with a 1 and a 3 in our right hand. So all together we have this. We're going to follow that up with a thumb. Follow that up with an index finger. After that index finger, we're going to go back to our thumb and follow that up with a 3-1. One more time. So all together, so far in this pattern, this is what we have. I'll play that one more time. After that is when we start getting this pinky in our left hand more involved. We're going to add that to our high E string 3rd fret. Everything else is going to stay right where it is. Our ring finger in our right hand is going to move down to our high E string. All other fingers are going to stay in the exact same position. When we get to that high E string, we're going to pluck that with our ring finger, follow that up with our thumb, following that back up with our ring finger again, but this time lifting our pinky so we have that open E. And then we can move that ring back up and catch our open B string, or you can use your 2nd finger if you want to move that finger down as well. So I know that's a lot for this pattern, but let's go through it. So far we have this. I'll play that one more time. It's a little tricky. Let's go over that pattern one more time. Hammer, 1, 3, thumb, 1, 3, thumb, high E, back to thumb, open E, moving to our 2nd string. Slowly, one more time. So all together, if we put together our first pattern and our second pattern, we're going to hear this. Cool. Now we loop both of those patterns twice, right? So we'd go back to our first pattern again, and we go back to our second pattern again. And then once we're back to our first pattern for the third time, we don't go back to this C over G. Instead, we're gonna make a D7 over F sharp. So just go ahead and grab that D7 chord and wrap that thumb around that lowest E string on your second fret. This is where we get another right hand pattern that's a little tricky, so stick with me here. It's gonna be thumb, 1, 2, thumb, 1 is the first pattern of this. One more time. Now is when we go back to our thumb and our ring finger. Our ring finger again, now on our B string. Our highest most string is our ring finger. So we have thumb, 1, 2, thumb, 1. Thumb and ring strike at the same time we hammer our index finger onto our B string. We follow that up with an index finger, and then we go back to our third finger on our B string, but this time no index finger in our left hand. We have an open B string the second time we go to our ring finger. So all together so far on this D7 over F sharp, we have this. Right? We're going to follow that up with our 2 finger on G, and we're going to release, we're going to do our 2 finger on G, thumb again, and then we're going to release our second finger. We can really start to make that transition from our whole hand, right? We can lift all of our hands up, and as we do that, our second finger is going to strike that open G again. So all together, this pattern of D7 over F sharp is going to be this. I'll do it one more time, a little bit slower. Now, like I said, when you hit that last open G, you can kind of take your whole hand away and start forming a C chord as we get that open G. From here, we're doing another pattern in our right hand, which is just going to be, first is going to be thumb, 1, 2. On the second thumb, we're going to move our ring finger in our left hand down to get this G. So now we're moving our thumb in our right hand to match that on our low E. So far we have thumb, 1, 2, thumb. We're going to follow this thumb up with a 2, 1, 3 pattern in our right hand. And you're just going back and forth for this measure. Once you repeat that twice, you basically just go to essentially just a G chord, right? But you're really only holding the G note with your ring finger. And you're doing the kind of that same pattern. You're doing thumb, 2, right? Or I'm sorry, thumb, 1. So 1 on your D string, thumb, 1, thumb, 2, 1, 3. Same as we did on that C chord. But you only do that once. The second half of this pattern, we just drone between our low E and our open D string. So that G pattern is just going to be and then we go back to the very top of our song. And then everything kind of loops in together. So I'll play through each of these sections one at a time, and then I'll put them all together one last time for you. So this is the first section. Second section, just lifting that pinky finger, hammering on that C over G now. Back to our first section, second section, third. Now we go back to our first section, second section. Now we go to our different fourth section. To this last section here. Back to the top, and I'll play this through one more time for you. and that's the tune, that's the intro. I know, like I said, it's a bit tricky at first, but like I said, just spend some time really running through those patterns. And of course, I have that photo, if I haven't already sent it in the group chat, of one, all the patterns, and two, all the measures that they kind of line up in. Like I said, if I haven't sent that yet, I'll be sure and do that today, or whenever you guys get this video. That really helped for me. Another thing that really helped me was seeing each of the finger assignments written out, and then right on top of that putting the rhythmic notation, and that should be in the photo for you guys as well. But really being able to like count out the 16th notes for each measure. So it would be like 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4, so on and so forth. That really helped me with kind of understanding how the bounce of this is supposed to sound. Really understanding that, like, what would normally be our alternating bass line, but is really just that kind of country groove, right? Kind of helped me understand a little bit more. So just some food for thought. If any of this doesn't make any sense, please don't hesitate to let me know. I would like to try and find, another way to write it out that clicks for you guys, or spend some extra time describing it and going in depth and feeling a little bit better with it. But yeah, let me know how we're feeling. It's sounding good so far. Like I said, tricky at first, but it's really an earworm once you get super comfortable with it. So yeah, until next time.